redemption arc after redemption arc, but then also like fuck you to some characters, but then like redemption arc. We have a lot of books to talk about in this video, guys.
1, 2, 3.
I'm talking about the books that I read in the month of March, as well as the books I plan on reading in the month of April. I decided to just combine them together because I've been reading. Well, okay, let me stop right there because clearly I haven't been reading because this is the first wrap up of the year. I did read a lot talking about like how thick each book was. Okay, for me not reading even like the amount of a singular book in February, I read a pretty damn good amount. These books I'm getting ready to talk about that I read in the month of March have videos attached to them that should be up in the next week or two. I still have to edit them because there's a lot more video footage than I originally thought. And it's kind of hard to balance YouTube, school, and now work. So we're getting there, guys. I promise. 8 books. 8 incredible books. Wow. They really truly are pretty amazing. First book that I started off the month with, I don't think I read a book until like the second week of March, and that is Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. 1,000,000 stars out of 1,000,000 stars. Oh, wow. And the show, oh my god, I started to cry at the ending because it was just so perfect. But I really enjoyed this book. I did tab it quite a bit. Already want to reread it. God, I just love this universe. If you don't know anything about Daisy Jones and the Six, it is basically an interview style book about Daisy Jones and the band The Six and how they kind of came together, the life of being a rock star in the 70s, how they, like, their uprising to their downfall, the highs, the lows, their relationships, the drugs, the alcohol, everything like that. Reading fantasy for a week, and that was Curse of the Wolf King by Tasana Odette. This is the first book in the Entangled with Fae series. This is more of romance with a side of fantasy. So the entire Entangled with Fae series is just fairy tale retellings. There's the first one, this one is the story of Beauty and the Beast. The second one is Cinderella, and then there's like the Little Mermaid, Snow White, ongoing series. None of these are connected. They're all, like, I guess, interconnected standalones. I think they all take place in the same universe though, and there is a trilogy leading up to the series that you do not have to read in the slightest. A 4 stars, which now looking at it now, I'd probably give it like a 3.5 because once that video is up, you'll see that I really was not enjoying it all the way through until the very end. Can you tell I'm excited? Then I read A Court of Mist and Fury, the second book in the ACOTAR series, and I gave this book, I wrote a 4.5 out of 5 stars. I think I gotta give it a 5. I think about this book in the series 24/7. It's honestly a problem, and it's really scary because I said I was never going to read the series, that there was no way I physically could commit to the series, and I actually finished this book in one day. So all I can say is hang on. It gets better. It did move a little bit slow in the beginning, and I think that's why I originally gave it a 4.5 star. But the way I just can't stop thinking about it. The book that actually exceeded a 5 star was A Court of Wings of Ruin, which I also coincidentally read in a day. This I actually wrote in my journal a wow out of 5 stars. And Daisy Jones and the Six was 1,000,000. The most fast-paced book in the series, honestly. This is all about the build up to war, politics, a lot of character development, and you meet the inner circle in this book, and this is like the foundation that leads into this. This is the war, this is the alliances, and oh my god, redemption arc after redemption arc, but then also like fuck you to some characters, but then like redemption arc. A wow out of 5 stars on this one. I finished off that vlog with reading A Court of Frost and Starlight, and I give this book a 3 stars. You can't really ask for much more. It's a novella. It's just kind of like if the series was originally just the trilogy, which I'm pretty sure that's what it was, that was her plan, was it was just going to be the first 3 books, this would be a really good novella to just close off the series. I recorded a video that I'm debating on even posting because I feel like it didn't, like, what I read didn't even amount to reading fantasy for a week, and that was reading romance for a week. Picking up just a straight romance, or like in this case historical fiction, or just general fiction. 3 books are really, really good, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they don't amount to the fantasy one. But I think I still might just upload it. I off that vlog with Maybe in Another Life by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I actually gave it a 3 out of 5 stars. This is basically our main character, Hannah, she's been hopping around town to town, city to city, state to state her entire life, basically her entire adult life, and she finally decides to come home to Las Vegas, I believe it is. And then she lives with her best friend for a little bit. One night, her and her best friend decide to go out to this bar where she runs into her high school boyfriend. Lays out 2 different timelines. The first one is if she went home with him that night, and the second one is if she didn't go home with him that night. I was going to enjoy this more than I did. I would still recommend it, but it wouldn't be like the first Taylor Jenkins Reid that I recommend, if that makes any sense. Not much to say about that one, but this one I do have a lot to say, and that is Say You Swear by Megan Brandy. Holy shit. 5 out of 5 stars, and OMG out of 5. Oh my god, this... I thought people were lying to me when they said that you would not want to put this book down. No, I did not want to put this book down. But this, wow. Book is kind of like a very blurred love triangle. So, Ariana is with her childhood best friend, or her brother's best friend, Chase, who is a part of this friend group. So they're always around each other. No one's ever made a move. It's kind of like this weird tension between each other. Like, her brother is very, very overprotective, like extremely. It's kind of weird. Out a summer where they happen to have this one special moment, and then everything goes to shit, and then they start college, and the entire friend group is going to college, and you're basically just rolling through Chase and Ariana's relationship until Ariana meets this boy, Noah. Noah might just be my favorite book boyfriend behind Rhysand. Entire book you can tell that they're just not meant to be, but they also just can't let each other go, kind of thing, which is kind of annoying. But Noah is the redemption of this entire book, and that should be all you need to know to read this. It's the next book I picked up in that series, in that video, was Icebreaker by Hannah Grace, and this was a 4.5 out of 5 stars, literally an honorable mention of a 5-star. You wouldn't think this book is spicy, right? Like, tell me I'm crazy. You wouldn't think this book is spicy. I don't know how to describe the kind of tropes in here. Reverse Grumpy Sunshine, like the girl is grumpy, Anastasia is grumpy, and Nate is kind of like Sunshine, Golden Retriever boy. Nate Hawkins, also an amazing book boyfriend. Like it doesn't compare to Noah Riley. I loved how there was so much communication in this book. I hate miscommunication with a passion. He's a figure skater. Nate is a hockey player, as you can tell by the cover of the book, and they are forced to share the same rink, so they're constantly battling against each other, causing arguments about the fact that they have to share the same rink, and somehow it forms a frenemy friendship, and that frenemy friendship has to turn into friends with benefits because Anastasia refuses to commit to a relationship. From there, and it's so good. A lot of people say this is kind of like insta love. Yes, Nate fell first. He doesn't express it right away. He's just like, no, I'm gonna get this girl regardless. It's the friend group. I know she's coming out with another book. The second book in the series releases October 3rd. For none of you that knew, it releases October 3rd. I don't remember whose book it was. I think it might be JJ's. But I need Henry's book. Half of these tabs are Henry. This could have been a love triangle between Nate, Henry, and Anastasia, and I'd still have been okay with it. I'm ranting about those long enough. We can get into the books that I plan to read in the month of April. So I'm going to start with the ones that I'm least excited for and to the ones that I'm most excited for. I'm going to save fantasy for last because those are the ones I'm most excited for. But I try to throw in some romance and thrillers just so the other books didn't feel left out. The 3 thrillers that I picked for this month. No, this one actually kind of is a perfect transition from the books I read in March to what I want to read in April, because I am halfway through this book. My goal is to finish this in the month of April. The Fear by Natasha Preston. This viral post is going around called The Fear, and the post basically looks like what you're seeing here, a rose petal locked in ice on a lake, and everybody is reposting it and sharing the way they fear, like, how do I word this? They would hate dying the most, like drowning, being murdered, like held at gunpoint, shot, thrown off a bridge, whatever, what have you. And everybody in the school is sharing the way they most fear to die. And all of a sudden, people in the town at this high school start dying the same way that they posted. And we have The Perfect Marriage by Geneva Rose. I know I need to take all the stickers off of these. This, like, we've been seeing this book everywhere. We can't even lie. This book is everywhere. But it's a wife and a husband, and the husband is framed or being investigated for killing his mistress. His mistress winds up dead. They think it's the husband, and the wife is actually the one investigating the case. And that is One of Us is Lying by Karen McManus. But she just so happened to finally release a paperback of this, and you can actually see the hardcover I have of it. But I've been wanting to read it, but I just refuse. Oh, there's a third book coming. One of Us is Back. Interesting. Well, One of Us better release a paperback in it so I can read it, because I also still need to read One of Us is Next. Chose 4 romances for the month. Some new picks in here you guys haven't seen, and that first one is Before We Were Strangers by Renee Carlino. If you notice, I'm not really telling you guys what any of these books are about. It's because I don't really know what they are about. I don't like really knowing what books are about when I pick them up. Like, just give me a brief little, like, trope idea, and I'll pick it up, and then I'll completely forget the reason why I picked it up, but I'll still read it because I'll be like, oh my god, I see that book everywhere, let me read it. That's explanation for this book. Someone recommended me reading this in my book haul video, especially because of the goat, and that is Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. They also said the audiobook was really, really good for this, so I think I might pair reading this with the audiobook. Thinking about hearing spicy scenes in my ear that just kind of like throws me for a loop. And hopefully read one day when it's nice, because I can definitely read this book in like 4 hours. That's Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. And I don't know why my copy is so freaking beat up when I have not even read this. I'm pretty sure this is like Love and Other Words on crack, like semi-spicier than Love and Other Words, and a different ending as to why the people weren't talking. The romance we have is Things We Never Got Over by Lucy Score, the first book in the Knock 'Em Out series. And I'm very excited to read this, to say the least. I do I really hope I enjoy Lucy Score's writing, which I think I will. And this is I'm pretty sure it's small town romance. Naomi goes to the small town assuming her sister's in trouble. She needs to help her sister, and then her sister basically says F you, like steals her car, steals her money, and just runs away and leaves Naomi with her niece that she didn't know about, I think. And she runs into Knox, who is a grumpy man that doesn't, I guess no one in this town likes Naomi's sister, and so Knox thinks Naomi is said sister and doesn't like her at first, but then eventually they like each other. And yeah, all of the fantasy reads. So I'm going to start off with the one I just started last night, actually, and that is This Woven Kingdom by Tara Mafi. I'm no more than 60 pages in. This one is definitely a lot higher fantasy than, I mean, I wouldn't even consider, this is fantasy to where this was kind of like dystopian. It's definitely on my TBR because these Woven, the reds, come in sometime in the next week. So I need to have this read so I can read that one. So that one will probably be on my April TBR as well. Is Six of Crows and Cookie Kingdom. I would love to finish both of these. I've heard so many good things about this, but people immediately want to go from this to this, so that's why both of them are on my TBR. Because I think if I read one, if I get through one, I'm definitely going to end up wanting to read the other. And it's not like I'm jumping into a 6-book series where I'm like, okay, let me draw out the series. No, it's literally 2 books. Like, we're just going to bite the bullet and do it. And I'm not scared of thicker books anymore, because obviously I can read them if they're good. Actually, A Quarter Silver Flames is on the agenda for this month. Come on now. I need to hear Nesta and Cassian's story. They've grown up, and now I just keep seeing like these quotes of Cassian, but like they're abbreviated quotes and I do not know what they mean, and I want to know, because I want to know if Cassian fucks better than Rhysand. Okay? So this is on my agenda. This might actually be what I pick up after this Woven Kingdom. If I finish this before these woven threads come in, if I happen to finish this, then I'm definitely going to start this. I think this would take up like I think I'm gonna do the same thing I did with Aquamoth and Aquawar and listen to it while also reading it. Just like while I'm listening to it, I'm just like, also look at this. It's pure, it's a work of art. It really is. The last book, which it's a maybe for the month, depends on if I want to continue reading Sarah J Maas, and that is Throne of Glass, and I just so happen to have all of them. It's gonna get Crescent City, but the second book isn't out in paperback until December, so I'm gonna try. I feel like I'm doing this backwards. Like I feel like I'm supposed to do ACOTAR, then the Crescent City universe, and then this, but you know, because Crescent City has a bunch of like Easter eggs or something like that. I've been trying to do my research, okay? Like Sarah J Maas is new to me, but apparently everybody's an expert. I definitely still need to look into the reading order, but what I've gathered is everybody says to start with this book regardless. I think the debate is when to read Assassin's Blade. I know Assassin's Blade is a prequel, but everybody says to read Assassin's Blade before or after Heir of Fire, but absolutely before Queen of Shadows. So let me know down below, and then I plan on doing a tandem read with Tower Storms. What is it? Empire Storms Tower of Dawn. It's a tandem read, I think. Is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys want to see a reading vlog on any of these videos, I think I'm planning on doing one at least for reading A Course Over Flames. If you guys want to see a reading vlog on anything else, if you guys want me to do another reading fantasy for a week video, let me know, because obviously I have a lot of fantasy options, or just do weekly reading vlogs throughout this month. That is it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you want me to see down below. If you think I should add any other books to my April TBR, what books you would love to see a video on. And I will see you guys in the next one. Be sure to comment, subscribe, you know, do all that little fun shit. And I'll see you guys later.
1, 2, 3.